Right now, as you read this, your body is hiding something from you. Something it has never let you fully access, not once in your entire life. And when you find out what it is, and what happens when that barrier breaks, you will never think about your body the same way again. Hey, I'm the Mystery of Science. If you're new here, subscribe and drop a like. We go deep into the science most channels won't touch. Now, let's get into it. You think you've pushed yourself. You've sprinted until your lungs broke, until your legs gave out, until your body physically couldn't go any further. But here's what your biology textbook never told you. That was not your limit. That was your brain deciding you were done. And there is a very dark reason why it does that. Running looks primitive. You move your legs, you go forward. But what's actually happening inside your body during a full sprint is closer to controlled chaos than anything you'd call simple. More than 200 muscles fire in coordinated waves. Your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, your core, even the muscles in your neck working to stabilize your skull while your legs hammer the ground with a force of up to 3 times your entire body weight. Your heart is slamming oxygen-rich blood to every tissue that needs it. Your lungs are processing air at a rate they rarely reach. Your nervous system is sending and receiving signals faster than any computer you've ever owned. And it's doing all of this in fractions of a second, over and over again with every single stride. But here's the part that changes everything. Even in the middle of all that chaos, your muscles are not fully on, not even close. Your central nervous system, the command center running everything, is quietly holding back a portion of your total muscle power, on purpose, always. This isn't weakness, it's engineering. The mechanism is called neural inhibition. Your brain maintains a permanent ceiling on how many muscle fibers can fire at the same time. In normal conditions, even at your perceived maximum effort, researchers believe you're only using somewhere between 60 and 80% of your actual muscular force capacity. The rest is locked away. Not because it isn't there, because if it were released, the force it would generate could literally destroy the structures holding your body together. Tendons, ligaments, bones, all of them operating within load tolerances that full muscle activation would shatter. Think about that for a second. There is a version of you right now, in this moment, that is faster and more powerful than anything you have ever experienced, and your own brain has decided you cannot have access to it. Here's a question I want you to answer in the comments. Have you ever had a moment, maybe an emergency, maybe something that scared you, where you moved faster than you thought you were capable of? Because what you experienced in that moment is actually the closest most people ever get to what we're about to talk about. I'm genuinely curious. Drop it below. So what happens when that ceiling comes down? What happens when through extreme fear, certain chemical compounds, electrical stimulation, or a catastrophic neurological malfunction, the inhibition shuts off and every available muscle fiber fires at once? Keep watching, because this is where it gets uncomfortable. The first thing you would feel is an explosion of power unlike anything in your athletic memory. A sensation of speed and force that would feel almost inhuman. Your stride length would increase dramatically. Your ground contact time would drop. Every mechanical output your body is capable of would be happening simultaneously. And then, almost immediately, everything would start to break. Scenario 1, catastrophic muscle tears. The fastest muscle fibers in your body, known as type 2X fibers, are built for rapid, explosive contractions. They are not, however, built for sustained maximum output. The moment you push them beyond the safety margins your nervous system normally enforces, they begin to tear. Not small micro tears that rebuild stronger, full, severe ruptures. The hamstrings and quadriceps are particularly vulnerable because of the enormous tension they're under during high-speed sprinting. You've probably seen footage of a sprinter who seemed to simply fall over in the middle of a race, clutching the back of their thigh. That's what a severe hamstring tear looks like. Now imagine that, but across multiple muscle groups at the same time. Scenario 2, Achilles tendon rupture. The Achilles tendon functions as a biological spring. During a normal sprint, it stores elastic energy on ground contact and releases it to propel you forward. It's one of the strongest tendons in the human body. It can still snap. If explosive, uncontrolled tension exceeds its structural limits, the tendon can rupture completely. People who have experienced this describe hearing a sound, a sharp crack or pop from inside their own leg, followed by immediate total loss of push-off strength and a drop to the ground. The tendon doesn't fray, it snaps, like a rubber band stretched past its breaking point. Now here's the part most people don't think about. And it's the reason that danger doesn't stop with your muscles and tendons. Scenario 3, stress fractures and impact injury. Muscles don't just move you, they pull on your bones. Under normal conditions, those forces are calibrated. Under full, uninhibited muscle activation, the tensile forces on your skeleton can exceed what bone is designed to withstand, causing fractures without any external impact at all. And that's before we even account for the fact that at maximum biological speed, every foot strike becomes a high-energy collision with the ground. Your tibia, your knee joint, your hip, all absorbing amplified forces with each stride. One misstep at that speed, and the kinetic energy your body has accumulated would behave exactly like a projectile. Scenario 4, cardiovascular collapse. Your heart is a muscle, and like every other muscle in your body, it has a range of safe operation. During a maximum effort sprint with full neural uninhibition, your heart rate could exceed 200 beats per minute. At those extremes, the electrical coordination that keeps your heart rhythm organized becomes fragile. Ventricular fibrillation, where the heart quivers chaotically instead of pumping, becomes a real risk. Cardiac arrest becomes a real risk. This is not a hypothetical extreme. People have died during athletic exertion from precisely this mechanism. Running fast enough, hard enough, without the protection of your body's own governing systems could stop your heart. And if somehow your heart kept going, there's still one more system waiting to fail. Scenario 5, central nervous system burnout. Think of your nervous system as the software running every physical process we've described. Sustaining full motor unit recruitment, every available muscle fiber firing at maximum output, requires a continuous, high-intensity electrical demand on your brain and spinal cord. That demand is not sustainable. Neurological fatigue sets in rapidly, and when it does, it doesn't just make you tired, it degrades the signal itself. Coordination begins to break down. Movements that were explosive become erratic. Your vision may blur. Your spatial awareness collapses. You fall. Not from exhaustion in any normal sense, but because the system running your movement has reached the limit of what it can process. And then, as a final consequence layered on top of all of that, there's something called rhabdomyolysis. When muscle cells are destroyed faster than the body can manage, which is exactly what happens during catastrophic overexertion, they release their internal contents directly into the bloodstream. Proteins, enzymes, electrolytes, all of it flooding into circulation where it doesn't belong. The kidneys, which have to filter all of that, can be overwhelmed to the point of failure. Rhabdomyolysis has killed people. It doesn't take a dramatic accident. It just takes asking more of your body than your body was built to give. So what's the takeaway here? That you should stop pushing yourself? Absolutely not. But that there's a reason evolution built a governor into your system, and that understanding it is actually the key to going faster, not fighting it. If you run, or if you're thinking about starting, here's what the science actually supports. Warm up every single time. 10 to 15 minutes of dynamic mobility work, muscle activation, and easy movement isn't just habit. It's how you reduce the risk of exactly the injuries we just described, particularly to the hamstrings and Achilles. The tissues involved in catastrophic sprint failure are the same ones that respond most dramatically to proper preparation. Don't sprint at maximum effort every session. Your nervous system fatigues just like your muscles do. Training at maximum output every day doesn't make you faster. It creates the accumulated neural fatigue that degrades performance and raises injury risk. Structure your training so that speed work alternates with technique days, strength sessions, and genuine recovery. Build your core and glutes specifically. Running is popularly framed as a lower body activity, but the force generated by your legs has to be managed and transferred through your center. A weak core turns efficient power into wasted movement and instability. Planks, hip bridges, and single leg stability work directly address the support structures that keep high-speed running mechanically sound. Listen to the signals your body sends. Sharp, unusual pain during a run is not toughness to push through. It is information. The difference between athletic discomfort and structural warning is something worth learning to distinguish. And work on your mechanics. Ground contact point, foot strike, trunk angle, arm drive. Technique improvements allow you to convert more of your available power into actual forward speed, with less energy wasted and less structural stress generated. You can go faster by learning to run better, not just by trying harder. Because here's what all of this actually means. The limit that holds you back isn't your fitness. It isn't your willpower. It's a system your body spent millions of years developing to keep you alive. It holds back power you actually have in service of a body that needs to survive tomorrow, not just win today. Speed without control isn't performance. It's just a faster way to break down. The real frontier isn't bypassing your nervous system's limits. It's learning the system well enough to work at the highest possible edge of what it will allow. That's where elite performance actually lives, not in the override, in the negotiation.